I went to Tafraout to go climbing with my rock climbing partner at the time. And we got stuck on a mountain overnight because the weather had been so bad that it had washed mud down over the head wall, and we're technical rock climbers, so climbing with just t-shirts and jeans on very tiny holds, and it was just unclimbable because of the mud that had come down. So it was quite a technical pitch, and we had to abseil off to somewhere a bit safer, but it was February and there was snow on the top. And so all I could do was actually phone the local restaurant where I had met Abdou to say, can you let the other climbers know that we haven't died, that we're going to have a very cold night, but we'll make our way down in the morning. So no, he did not save me in a physical sense, but actually speaking to a friendly voice on the other end of a phone when you're up a mountain and can see nothing but darkness and snow was a wonderful thing. Meeting Abdou did, because as I say, I fell in love with the country through Abdou, and I wanted to research as much as I could about Morocco, partly as a way of finding out about where I was now going to be living, but also to find out about him and his heritage. Well, I was fascinated by the history to start with, because I'd obviously come to Morocco to learn about the history of my ancestor being taken by Barbary corsairs. But that just, as a writer, you just start researching, and it fans out everywhere, and you find out all sorts of fascinating facts. So I started off with very deep history from the 17th century, and with the courts and Moulay Ismail and all that sort of quite distant history. And I've worked my way forward since then. So the Salt Road is set in the 1960s, and my most recent novel, The Black Crescent, is about Morocco's fight for independence in 1955. So that's within living memory, and I would not have been able to write that novel when I first came here, because you have to understand the nuance and the politics and the people so much better than I did 20 years ago. Oh, completely. I mean, it's such a fascinating country. There's always something new to excite and interest me. It fires me up with inspiration every time, and the people are so lovely. Well, the folk tales go in, the jinn go in, of course. A lot of the superstitions and the beliefs in the rural areas, that they went into the Black Crescent quite a lot. It's the story of Azuri with the horizontal hand, because my husband has Azuri palm. And so I found out about that legend, and that fascinated me. It's extraordinary that people still believe that this holds some sort of jinn magic, and I love that. Because I come from an area in the far southwest of Britain which has a very similar set of values and beliefs. We still balance quite a lot of folklore and modern world where I come from. Oh, well, I married a chef. So the food is just sublime. The food is lovely. The spicing is fascinating. And I'm actually researching saffron at the moment for the next book, because where I come from in Cornwall, we use a lot of saffron in our recipes, and I think this is really fascinating, because obviously it's not a native plant to the UK at all. It's been brought from the Middle East and from Morocco, and so I'm doing some research as to how it came over from Morocco, and it's so interesting. Well, we'll be heading up into the Atlas. I want to go and see some of the saffron growing areas there and talk to people, and I shall be sort of filling up my bowl of inspiration as I go. So that's the next one. That's the next book that I'm starting out writing next. Well, I mean, partly it is about the hospitality and the cookery, but also the belief in the magic of saffron as well as a medicinal and a herbal element. But also about the warmth of the people and a cultural exchange between the Cornish and the Moroccans, and that is important to me, because I've done it and I've seen it, and Abdul's done it and seen it from the other direction as well. So I like to bring the worlds together like that.